All right, everybody, it's July 20th, Monday. You're here at the Town of Poolesville Commissioners Meeting. In the house is tonight our Alan, Brian, myself. Ed is here. I'm not sure if Sarah was able to join us or not. Doesn't look like it. That's fine. Town Manager Wade Yost is coming to us virtually. Niles is here in the house. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Brian, if you don't mind, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. All right, guys, so Commissioner announcements and committee reports. Alan, if you don't mind kicking us off.
All right, we actually met, I think July 8th, beginning of the month. First order of business, we actually will be having 2 new PHS liaisons for our Parks Board, with Nicole stepping down because she's going to UMD for school. So, and we have approved Elizabeth Reed, many may know, and also Jade Tiemann, 2 Eagle Scouts that have been very involved in the Parks Board on a lot of the Eagle Scout projects. So excited for them. Other things, really just wanted to go through our past meeting. It was our parks tour. We did 3 parks. We started over at Dillingham, walked through, looked at the renovations, the projects of the skate park, location of the community center that'll be coming up in a few years, which will be nice. Relocation of the dog park obviously will have to happen. That'll go from Dillingham, most likely to Stevens Park, where we had talked about. But just getting some of our board members just familiar with some of the history. Preston went over and gave us a nice little history tour of Dillingham. We went from there. I think we walked over to, we went to Campbell Park, walked that just to get a little familiar with some of the pollinator patches. Same thing with Brooks. Looked at some of the ponds for the maintenance ecosystems. It was good. We spent about an hour there, then we came back here and had our Parks Board meeting. We also talked about new fee structures for the use of Whalen Commons. So we wanted to increase that to kind of go parallel with what our sports fields are priced out at, because we starting to have a lot more staff that are being involved for cleaning up and just really covering our cost of people. So I think our normal price was like $60 for the day, and we wanted to go, we're at $60 for use. We wanted to go for 4 hours at $200 and for a full day, $400. So that's setting up, just a lot of time with the staff. But that's parallel with our athletic fields too, what our fee schedule is. So just trying to make it uniformity, key to that. Let's see, what else did we talk about? Went back to the commemorative and the honoring the community leaders we've had, our veterans and first responders. But again, that's a work in progress. That's going to take some time to come up with some, really good established criteria, and obviously working with the commissioners as well. But that's going to take a few months, I think, to really hash out. Again, wanted to go through, recognize our town staff with all the help and the heat and the conditions of the fields, roads. We had a water main break. They were on again today. I'll talk, Niles can talk a little bit later. Streetscapes coming up, faster and furious. And obviously we have our Poolesville Day coming up, in a couple months. But that's 7 weeks away or something like that. So it's going to be a busy next couple months getting everything done. Painting of the lining of some of the crosswalks like we do every year. So rocking and rolling. So, and our next meeting I think is August 5th, I believe. So, and that's what I have in a nutshell.
That's a big nutshell. Thank you, sir. Yep. Appreciate that update. Brian, do you want to help us? Planning Commission?
Yeah, we just met this past Wednesday, discussed, as we see on our agenda, the ordinance for the ADUs, which is a mandate from the state of Maryland. And we are on track, pending tonight's discussion. But it is a quick turnaround. It doesn't need to be done by October 1st, so. And there we went into our goals and objectives for our town center and discussed probably a little bit more the mechanics of it and felt like we needed more time to think about, go back still, and mesh our goals with the feedback that we got. But we felt like we had some very good things that were tied in there. We mentioned last time we're going to break out some components that really weren't related to that area. The signage, the new sign code adjustments, and parking and
The definitions.
definitions of that are in the town code. So I think the first thing we'll work on next meeting will be the sign code. There's some legal issues that we need to address.
Correct,
And-
yep.
And that'll become our way, probably next meeting.
Sign code,
Yep.
along with our sign committee?
Yes, so one of the things in it is to propose no longer having the sign code board.
Committee.
Committee.
Because it does not function. It does not currently operate. So, so we just to make the code consistent with practice.
Right.
And then the sign code itself are issues related to court cases around various types of signs and how they can be dealt with in the local government context.
And any of this being pushed upon us by any other governing agency, or is this
It's-
just us cleaning up our own
It's
code?
more cleaning up. I mean, we had some questions about a year ago about some of the sign stuff, and so it was after Wade and I went through with our attorney and such, sort of defining where those boundaries were in terms of recent jurisprudence that kind of made sense to clean it up and to make it more consistent with current guidelines in terms of court cases and things like that, and what other jurisdictions have either had to do or did do in response to court cases as well.
I'm just a little curious about what
So,
what level of involvement the planning commission has on
Yeah.
creating that.
Well, it's part of the zoning ordinance, and so since the planning commission generally deals with the zoning ordinance and updating it, that's the path that made the most sense, because it is, the sign code is a section of the zoning ordinance.
Okay, good, thank you.
Hmm?
Appreciate that. Anything else? Didn't want to stop you.
No, that was it.
Okay, good. Ed, I don't know where you're going to start, buddy. You got a lot on your shoulders tonight.
There's not that much I can't carry.
Okay.
So nevertheless, so we'll start off with the Sustainable Poolesville, because Sustainable Poolesville has not met for July and it won't meet. It'll meet in August, so it's on a summer hiatus. So that's what's happening with Sustainable Poolesville. In terms of fair access continues. The Fair Access Committee continues to be busy behind the scenes. And so right now, I'll bring it to you in three ways. First is what WAMCO is working with county council and those who have not had a tour of Poolesville and get to understand the inner workings of all the places that WAMCO travels throughout, not just Poolesville, but the Western Montgomery County. So there have been tours working with representatives from county council. Then the next thing is looking at, we're going to wait to see who becomes the new county executive, but then it's making sure whoever that county executive is also understands the work that WAMCO is doing, understand what's happening at a closer level in Poolesville. And then what we're also doing is getting ready for the Poolesville Day, where we have the VIP breakfast. And so the save the date invitations, first round has gone out. Then there'll be another round that will be going out. And then what we'll be doing is getting ready to put together what the program's going to look like for the VIP breakfast. So that's where we are with fair access. And I'm going to turn it over to Alan to talk about what's going to happen this Sunday it's Saturday, right?
Sunday.
26, yeah.
Sunday.
Thank you.
So actually, it's we're coming down. It's Sunday. It's our dedication ceremony for our good old farmer's plaque that was installed at Whalen Commons probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks ago. It's Sunday from 6 to 7. We probably have 50 to 60 attendees that have RSVP'd, including, Lieutenant Governor Runa Miller, many council members, Maryland Secretary of Agriculture Kevin Addix. I know the Comptroller's Office will be here as well, but it's going to be a great event to really showcase and to dedicate what the farming community of Poolesville and the Ag Reserve has provided to us. So again, that's Sunday, 6 to 7, but I'm really looking forward to spending some time with everybody there. I'm sure people get there a little early to talk, but it's going to be a great presentation, a great ceremony, and well-deserved.
Okay, good. That's it on that?
That's it.
All right, that's good. All right, thank you for that. Ed, anything else? Sustainable Poolesville's on hiatus, fair access been presented?
That's it.
Good to go. All right, I'm not going to add anything to that to extend the evening. So we have public comment coming up, everybody. We have one that's signed up, Jerry Klobakowski, but we also have Bob Roy that's going to be here. I understand, are you going to unmute Bob right now?
Yeah, Bob, I think he's unmuted right now. Do you want to speak now or after the items you discussed?
Well, if you don't mind, I appreciate the opportunity to just make a couple of general comments. One is,
Go ahead.
as you all know, taxes have gone up for everybody. And yet I see the town spending money on things that could be cut back if there was some backbone. The grants seems to have grown and grown and grown over time. I don't understand the need to revise the flag and any costs associated with that. It just doesn't make sense to me as somebody that's on a fixed income and I'm having to pay out both to the town, the county, and the state for spending decisions that nobody wants to cut anything.
Duly noted. And I will say to you, Bob, that we've spoken out quite loudly to our county elected officials about our displeasure with the tax structure on this last go-around.
Yeah, but that doesn't get us anywhere, it appears.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, but who can afford it next year, the way it's going?
Vote with your pocketbook.
Yeah, anything that can be cut back, nobody's taking advantage of, and it includes the town. And with the grant money going out, why are we replacing the flag? Look what happened in Minnesota. They came up with some new flag combination. Nobody liked it, and they've gone back to the old one, with disregarding how much money was spent in that effort. It just...
I'm with you. Glad we're not in Minneapolis.
Well... But it's the example, that's all.
No, I get it.
The town needs to take a hard look at some of the spending, that's all.
You do a good job of keeping us grounded, Bob, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you have more for on that particular subject? Do you want to just weigh in on a per subject basis after this?
No, I just wanted to make a couple of general comments based on the items that were on the agenda. And the generic comments that need to be applicable to a lot of things.
Are you going to stick around for our flag discussion?
Yeah, I'll stick.
All right, good. All right, fantastic. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, Bob, so hanging in there. Also, public comment, we have Jerry Klobakowski here. Jerry, if you want to come up, give us your testimony.
Yep. Jerry Klobakowski, 17300 Fletchall Road, Poolesville, Maryland. One, the flag, I don't see the need for do it. I agree with what Bob says. Two, on the Poolesville Cats, the same thing. Seems like we can't find a charity we can turn down. And like HMD, which was supposed to be only once or twice, but now it's like a department of the town. But with respect to ADUs, which, by the way, Governor Wes Moore put out an announcement saying that he's going to put $1 billion to help implement ADUs.
number one, I object to this thing, not because of what it's imposing on you, because the law that was passed says we must do this. It didn't say if feasible. I don't believe there was any coordination between the Department of Planning and Maryland Department of Environment to determine whether we have sufficient water and sewer, or other municipalities throughout the state have sufficient water and sewer to accommodate these ADUs. Also, I have a question. Was this body or any member of it consulted by our state legislatures before they went ahead and voted for it, or did they? No, they didn't ask us. Do you know if MML took a position on it?
I did look it up after you asked us at the planning commission. They did oppose it, so it was in there.
MML opposed it? You know, usually when MML opposes it, the legislators go along with it, you know, okay. Okay, it says here for the housing needs of Maryland citizens. As I've mentioned here before and also at the last week's planning commission meeting, you know, go drive down Key West Boulevard, drive down Shady Grove Road, drive up Monocacy Boulevard in Frederick, and drive up Route 15. They are putting up apartment buildings and townhouses or condos left and right. Depends on you know, what you define as and the other question is, what is affordable? That's like saying, what is a person who's in the middle class? Affordable to whom? Affordable to Jeff Bezos in New York City, or affordable to the iron worker here in Poolesville? What is affordable? All right, and you know, this, I keep on thinking of, this is similar to going back before the great financial crisis in 2008, 7, 8, and 9. You know, as to, you know, everybody has to have a house. Well, if you can't afford to pay for it, or once you get it, maintain it, then there's a problem there. Page 2, it says allow family members to be, you know, next to their kin. Well, we already have that here. I know at least one person who over in Brightwell is living in his kid's basement. I think there are a couple over in Westmont or Westerly, because I remember seeing, I don't know if it's still there or not, a ladder or stairway going up to houses. So I think we already have that. It says reduce taxpayers' burden. Won't these result in higher property taxes for the person who installs these? You're increasing the footage, the square footage of the house, or you're putting something, improvement on the property. So I'm thinking like it isn't going to really do it, because knowing governments, if it's on there and they can tax it, they're going to tax it. It says accommodate accommodate all more. It goes back to housing needs of the citizens. Well, if I know, like up in Frederick, I think off of Warman's Mill Road, the apartments up there or condos up there go for, I think, close to $2,000 a month. Anybody who puts one of these things on their property, especially, you know, if it's not a family member, or even maybe if it is, are going to say, pay me. And they're going to look around at the going rate around the area, and they're going to say, this is what I want. So whether it'll be affordable or not, that can be really a complete joke.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
You know, the mindset is that if they build enough of them, that will take the market and either arrest the price increases, or in fact make it more affordable.
I don't believe that
that's
for
the
one.
mindset.
I don't believe that for one
I
bit.
hear you.
That sounds great, you know, and everything else, just like the word affordable. You know, it's affordable. Everything's affordable. If you put affordable for it, then all of a sudden it is. It says promoting more compact and urban growth. Well, I don't think you're going to put these in the middle of the business district. They're going to be on the outside where there's more land, either maybe 3/4 or the 2-acre lots, which can accommodate them. They're not going to be close to having a more compact, walkable community. And also near employment centers. Well, it forgot to mention transportation centers, because that's the big thing down county, is we want to get these things closer to the communication centers, the metro, the bus rail stuff, transportation. So, you know, out here, I don't know. And, I don't see that. Or employment centers. Poolesville, maybe some people will be able to afford to work in Poolesville at John's Hardware or Cagini's or McDonald's, but I doubt it. And, it says setbacks, auxiliary buildings. It would be the same as auxiliary buildings. Well, as I recall, it's what, 10 feet from the property line?
It's, so for an accessory structure, it's 3 foot from the rear setback and 5 feet from the side setback.
I think a lot of people would get upset with them having that close to another person's property, especially.
What's the setbacks over there?
For these ones, they are.
Sorry to put you on the spot now.
No, I'm just trying to remember.
Don't you know our
right.
code like that, just that?
Yeah, I know. But I think we put it as the same in the village overlay, right? It's the same for accessory.
We did, and you also have to, the 14-foot limits, anything over 14 foot for each foot it does, it creates a larger setback.
Yes.
So once you mathematics on it, you're gonna build a regular sized structure, it's gonna be limited to a very few amount of properties that actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's attached to the house, that's one thing.
Yep.
And I've heard of things where people put these in their, they have a pool, and they put these things in, and they rent it out during the winter, and then they use it as a pool house cabana during the summer. So, I mean, are we really, going to help people get affordable housing? But again, and also the thing about sharing, it says something about, you don't have to have separate infrastructure. Well, to me, that's water and sewer. So you telling me you're gonna run a line from the house in that meter to this thing, and he's not gonna have to, how are you gonna determine how much that ADU pays in water and sewer? Now, I would never do that, because I don't wanna get a squabble with, if it was a relative or a friend or whomever I'm renting to, as to how much water they used, how much gas they used, how much sewer they used, how much electricity they used. If we're putting that in there, then I would want to know, it's on their nickel. And, I don't want to have my bill go up, because if it doesn't get paid, the power company decides to shut it off, or you guys decide to shut the water off. At least that's the way I see it.
Jerry, sorry to interrupt. So, we didn't have a meeting earlier in the month, so you get 6 minutes instead of 3.
Okay.
And maybe that's per subject, but,
Well,
whatever direction you're going with this, we can keep it rolling.
No, that's it. The last thing is, I agree with Bob with the flags, and also about the, Poolesville Cats. In fact, I wish it was Poolesville Falcons. I wish it was really Poolesville Falcons, and so they could come in and get all the damn squirrels in my yard, because they're tearing
Can't
me.
blame you for that. Not a fan either.
We have turkeys.
You have turkeys?
Yeah, there have been turkeys in the yard.
Wild turkeys.
Wild turkeys.
In a bottle or in the like?
No, wild turkeys, and it wasn't after I had a bottle of wild turkey either. It was early in the morning. Now, even for me, that's a little early to start drinking. No. Yeah, there was 2 of them, one with 3 chicks and one with 6.
To your credit, Jerry, I've seen a couple of them wild turkeys running around too.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you. I appreciate you letting me go a little over.
Of course, sir. No worries. As I said, we missed our last meeting, so you get
Thank you, Jerry.
you get extra time. Oh, good. I knew you had a lot to get off your chest, so we're there. All right. Was there anybody else online or waiting for us there, Niles? No? Okay, good. Thank you for the testimony on that. I appreciate it. We're also lucky enough to have Sergeant Bandholz here tonight, and he is prepared to give us an update on the Central Business District Police Task Force that we have helped create.
Hello, Sergeant Bandholz. So a little bit of an update. I know several months ago we had some people come in and speak, specifically business owners, specifically the owner of McDonald's came in, notified us of, when I say us, everyone here in the venue, and notified us of issues that were going on in town, specifically involving a couple bad actors and their exploits. Several weeks ago, we had an incident around the McDonald's, and we had a few residents call in that they believed it was a fight going on at the time. Turned out it ended up being a street robbery, and that was investigated by the department. And subsequently, a search warrant was obtained, and our tactical units hit a house, referenced this case in Poolesville. Recovered in the house was a handgun and a few replica guns, and 2 people in the house were arrested and charged with this crime. I want to recognize and commend the residents of Poolesville, because they're the ones who shored up this case and made this case happen. We had great witness testimony from people who witnessed this event, who called it in, and who took steps to follow up and make sure this didn't get thrown by the wayside or fall through the cracks. The follow-up by the residents was fantastic. We had people come down to the station to give statements, reference the incident. So this is the kind of thing that the residents really need to be recognized for, because these are great things that can happen when the police and the community work together. That case will be adjudicated, but we'd made 2 arrests for that street robbery, got a gun off the street, and several toy gun or several replica guns that can't be used in that regard again. We have our bike team we had last week. We had bike officers. I don't know if anyone saw the bike officers riding around. You'll see that a little bit more as the summer continues, and increased patrols up here. And like I said, working with the community is the best way to get things done. And we look forward to continuing.
Appreciate your vigilance as well as the organization of the CBD group. And is there anything from the commission?
No, I'll just say, I mean, I appreciate you guys coming out with your new detail. I mean, I'm in communication with several of the officers throughout the week, things I've seen, things that's happened around town. Obviously, we've had a couple issues at Poolesville High School over the last couple of weeks with some destruction and B&Es. So, just they're always on top of it right away. File the police report so it's documented so you guys know exactly what's happening. Again, the bike officers that are coming in can help with the e-bikes, that are still constant, and the golf carts that are starting to come down Fisher Avenue more often, which are, prohibited. But again, want our residents to understand that, we are on top of this and we're not, just reactive. We're starting to be more proactive on the communication level, and I do appreciate it. But that's all I have.
Brian, anything? Ed?
No, thank you.
Sergeant, thanks again for coming up. We appreciate the increased attention. Also want to call out Justin Brown, sir. He's really got a nice grip on what's going on in the town. Saw him pull over a bunch of our dirt bikes with no tags, no anything on them. Made the dirt bikes wait there till their parents came and then walk these motorcycles all the way home, which I've done that before, but only when one's broken down, and it's a pain in the butt to do. So I really appreciate there was probably a lesson learned in there somewhere. So you guys are just right on top of us, just the way we like it. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and let the bike officers know they can come in here for refreshments and everything else as often as they want.
Will do. Thank you very much. And like Alan said, communication is key. The more information.
That's great to hear about that it played out on Facebook, and then next thing you know, you guys actually had an arrest and people testifying and all. That was fantastic.
Yep.
And again, the business has got to let us know and let you know. Always, if we don't have the data, you guys don't know how to act. So, thank you again.
Good. Thanks, Sergeant. Appreciate it. Good seeing you again. All right, guys. Very good. Unless there's anything else from public comment, we have the approval of the minutes for the June 22nd, 2026 meeting. Wade circulated those last Friday. Does anybody have any questions on them? You know what happens next.
All right, well, I motion that we approve the minutes from June 22nd.
I'll second.
All right, good sequencing, guys. All right, so motion been made by Ed to approve the minutes from the June 22nd meeting, seconded by Alan. Were there any comments, questions, changes, adaptations? Nothing?
No.
Call for a vote on the motion. All those in favor of approving the minutes of June 22nd, 2026, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody? Sarah is absent, so the minutes are approved 4-0. Thank you for that. Old Business Flag Design Committee. That's going to be you, right?
Yeah, yes, I guess
good.
I'd put out for some of the committee members to come, but I'm not sure if they could all make it, given travel schedules and things like that over the summer.
It's fine. We have a deadline.
Exactly. So we're trying to get this done by Poolesville Day, so to have them out there. So the preferred design is the one on the big poster on the far side there. It's one of 3 designs that they sort of narrowed down to based on the feedback that they got from the commissioners last time. And so it's the design that you guys had looked at and preferred with the sort of laurel going down the side. Just for those unaware, so the flag is basically based to represent three principles: sort of community, agriculture, and education. So the laurels kind of are like education. The green is obviously the agriculture, and then the circle is the idea of community. So sort of putting those three concepts together. And so that was the basic outline of it. You guys saw a version of this last time. And so this is with those edits, so shrinking the scale of the town hall, the gray out to try to make it more geometric and less defined in the detail, and reducing a lot of those details. And then having the sort of the laurel go down. And so we met and discussed that, and that's where they came to. There's another version of it with it white in the middle, which was closer to what was sort of last time. And then there's one with a gradient, but in looking at that, the gradient kind of didn't come through as well. So that's sort of the design, which was known in the based on the packet was B. So design B. So that was sort of the outcome of that meeting. If there are any questions, comments, sort of concerns, we can address that now.
Got it. Ed?
I'm still digesting.
Okay, very good. I just promised I'd come to you first. All right, very good. I'd look over this way. Anything to talk about right this second, men? Want to bring?
Not really. I mean, I know that we had changed, we scaled down the old town hall bank. You know, the colors are described as Niles was talking about. It represents our community.
And I forgot to mention one thing. The yellow will be the same yellow as on the Maryland flag, so it's trying to tie that yellow.
So, you know, we reviewed it a little bit the other day, briefly. You know, I had a couple small comments, but still digesting it. And I don't know when the next flag committee meeting is.
That was kind of, we were leading to this since we're sort of getting down to sort of the deadline. So, you know, kind of pushing it towards, you know, if there are tweaks or sort of how you want to go with it, and then kind of doing it that way. If we need to, you know, we can always try to get everybody together on a call or something like that. But that's sort of the way that we're trying to push, just so that we have time. I looked around to get a flag printed. The general lead time is 2 to 3 weeks. So it's not like, you know, we want to have it in time for Poolesville Day. So that was sort of the push and trying to do it that way.
You keep giving us more good background. Thank you.
Yep.
Brian, anything, comments for right this second? You don't have to play your cards right now if you don't want to.
I don't have any cards to play. I'll give my honest opinion. I think this made very good improvements. And I'm happy with the overall concept.
Ed, back to you. More time to formulate?
I mean, I agree with Brian. I just went back and looked at the ones from our June meeting where it was kind of clear in terms of the old town hall. And I'm trying to envision this flag flying up in the air on the flag, but what it might look like, not just here, but when it's outside.
And we talked about putting it in the back of the room just so you could see it from a distance, and I can still move it there if you'd like. But the sun coming in from the back was making it kind of translucent. So we put it there to give you that. If you'd like, I can move it back there if you want.
No, I mean, it captures what we talked about in terms of, you know, the proportions and everything. So.
You know, the only thing I would say, if you're done.
I'm done, go ahead.
Yeah, I can tell. The only thing I would say, and first of all, please give all of our sincere thanks to the Flag Committee. I know this is work. I know what design's about. It's difficult. And we threw a lot at them and had them come up with a number of concepts. And I know that there's been, like, you know, it's been the very strong give and take amongst the committee members and people trying to stand up for their ideas and still trying to compromise and come up with what they've done. And I do like the fact that they've answered the call on essentially all of the feedback that we gave at our meeting, and really, to me, have done a really, really good job. I still have a few more comments. I want to let it sink in for a little bit, but I think to me, it's very, very close, and it's very presentable. And I think it's a flag that could last us for the next 50 years. You know, as long as the old town hall is still standing, but you know, it could represent us in a way that I think would be most effective. And I do like the idea of having the you know, that's a bit of a butterscotch yellow.
Yeah, and it's-
Having it be the color of the Maryland flag yellow, I think is a little more, it's a little more gold and a little more
Yeah.
harvesty.
And that's one of the issues that we ran into with trying to print it from both using it from seeing it on the screen, which you can tell kind of is a little bit more that goldy on a screen versus where we got it printed. So, you know, that was one thing that we had an internal discussion about as a committee, is making sure when we get the fabric version of it, to make sure that it is that yellow, which would be our, you know, our next step if you go with this, or we have little things to tweak or whatever.
And feel free to jump in, you guys, if you want to. I would say that I'm a couple of areas of improvement, which I really don't have any immediate suggestions on how to improve it, would be, it still looks, first of all, I like the idea of Town Hall and the sun rising behind Town Hall. I like the use of the colors that they've come up with, the blues and the greens representing both, you know, our ag background, the laurels. The laurels are the only place that I wish I could see a little more definition. They're just by being kind of whited out. I'm not sure that they really give it all the definition that they could possibly do that. You know, someone could look at that and not me, because I never know what it is until I start scratching, but it looks like poison ivy.
Right.
So I don't know if we could, there's something that they could do to add a little more definition to the laurel.
Right.
But beyond that, the idea of the circle being condensed down, the having a bit of institutionalism with Town Hall being the gray that it is now, and not whited out like we had before, the lack of definition built into Town Hall, I thought they did a really good job on that. That design's great. We need, potentially, as we rebrand other
Yes.
things, potentially we start using that one a little bit. The waves of the green and the blue, all good. So my only opinion would be, and I want to think about it, how to get a little more definition of the laurels, but without overwhelming the rest of the design.
Right.
And I really do think okay. I really do think that they've hit a home run there. It's good. And now, after I've said all that, any changes from you guys or thought process?
I mean, I think I talked about this with Niles, with the definition of the laurels on the right-hand side where they bleed into the white separation
Yep.
border, you know, just to make sure the laurels go into orange, or excuse me, the yellow, and then the other one go into green. I mean, they can rotate the scale and they're,
Just adjust it a little bit more
right.
than anything.
right. Not, I don't know, I mean, the gray's all right. I don't know if I'm in love with the gray. You know, just because of the color complementary palettes that typically represent. But I do like it not as detailed as it was the last meeting. You know, I like to think the blue is the aquifer water.
Yep.
Sure.
You know, with and then the green, obviously, into the education with the laurels. I mean, we're representing so much of our community and the ag reserve. But again, like I said, they're 90% there, you know, and they just need to make a couple different changes and.
How about this? Let me make a suggestion. This is something that, again, with the laurels being just whited out, the white stripes that define the border between the green and the blue, as well as the green and the yellow. Would there be any benefit or thought process to adding something to help more define those? And I have to fight against.
So we.
Okay, go ahead.
We had a good discussion about this, and the question is, with that is, does that make it too busy? Basically,
Sure.
you have, because you talked about last time about sort of keying those out.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that becomes-
I have to fight against my key line.
Yeah.
Obsession.
And so the discussion we had with the graphic designer is that might make it all too busy and sort of hard to see it all together. Whereas the white itself is trying to create that sort of more subtle separation. So that was what the feedback we got from the graphic designer on that comment. I think if we look at the laurels and how to either define them a little bit more, or obviously shifting them a little bit, or re-spacing a couple of those things might help with that. And we could see where we go from there. But that was a discussion point we had.
I'm just thinking on the laurel to have. I know this probably gets lost in the shuffle, like in a big presentation, say the size of a full size
Yeah.
flag, of having like the veins of leaves.
Yep.
Where you can see a little more definition of
Yeah.
them. That and again, I have to fight against my urge to put a key line around everything.
Yeah.
So it's I wouldn't mind seeing a key line around them, but I know that it would probably mess up the design.
Yeah, that was the feedback that we had from the graphic designer, so that was just.
No, it's good. The damn designers, always leading us in the right direction. Okay. All right, you guys, so studio audience, you're here tonight. I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me 5 words per. And Jerry, I'll start with you, so you can say, I don't want it. That's 4.
Well, I don't like it.
Okay, that's 3.
Fine, but like with the,
Way more than 5.
the leaves or put veins in them.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you put a tractor or a horse or a cow in the green? I mean, you're
Yeah.
saying it's connected with agricultural.
So, and I can answer that.
You don't want to make it too busy.
Well, and plus, in all the flag design, like we've all taken the flag design class and, learned more about it, it's more about a little more opaque imagery than just having something as clearly defined as like placing a tractor on there or a cow or something like that. It has to be a little more, you have to be able to like glance at it from above and not go, is that a tractor or a cow? So that's the only thought, but I get you on the don't like it. All right, next up, go ahead, you're participating.
Yeah, it's Bob Boyd.
Hey, hold on. Bob, hang on for 1 second. Go ahead, we got somebody else, hold on. Go ahead.
I like it. I like that there's a lot of thought behind connection to our agriculture and our community, which, as we've seen with the Knights at Round Homes, is very important.
Okay.
I like the idea of connecting it more to the Maryland flag as well, with the yellow rather than the red. That's more meaningful.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, what would you think about adding more Maryland flag accents to it versus just having the yellow? And then tell me what you think, and then Niles, you can tell us what they said about it. Hang on.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead.
I think if you like made it more faded, like if you have a gradient that's faded and put it in the yellow in the background, so it's not like you said, super busy, super bold, but it's just kind of a hint of accent that you can see there.
Okay. All right, yeah, I like that, actually. Niles, go ahead, tell us why that's no good.
No, I mean, we didn't discuss that particular idea. I think the question again is if it's too many different things.
Richard, you're up next.
It tends to overwhelm it, so it's trying to, again, as sort of Jim said, most of these flag designs are designed to be very simple. So the idea is, like one of the rules is to make it something that like a 5-year-old could draw. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the idea, that you can kind of, there's general shapes, there's general ideas of shapes. And so it's kind of putting those in context. So it's not having too much of it. So, I mean, I could take a look, but it's just one of those things that might instantly be a little bit busier if it's all of that, because, the Maryland flag, for example, is
Right,
fairly
yeah.
busy on its,
No, I
combination.
got it. I have some ideas on that too, but I'm going to hold back on that for now. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Bob Roy, real quick. Hold on, Richard. Bob Roy.
Yeah, based on what's on there, unless you're from Poolesville, are people going to have any idea what the flag represents?
It takes a little figuring to do that, and that's something else that we were also advised in the flag class, is that you can't, an unsuccessful flag has like the name of the town printed on it in bold letters. Yeah, back to Niles, go ahead.
Right. So part of that is that idea that most of the time you'll be looking at it at a flagpole or something like that. So writing on it is very hard to see when you're looking at it from a distance. So again, the idea is strong, bold kind of imagery, right? And symbolism. And so oftentimes these flags, you have to actually read about them to know what the different symbols are. And that's one of the intents, is with this flag, there will be a page on the website that will explain its meaning. But there's a lot of the flags you look like are like various colors, various symbols, and sort of in a specific pattern. And you wouldn't, without necessarily knowing the community, what all of those mean. But part of the idea is that the flag is supposed to represent the community. So the meaning comes from those who live here and those who are in the community, and then showing it out. And then that explanation is part of what gets written out. That's kind of the way that it's generally approached with. So writing is discouraged and some specific things like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's just another woke effort, and it's a waste of time and money.
Okay, that's more than 5 words, but I appreciate it. Good stuff. Thank you for that, Bob. All right, Richard Garner, next up.
I like it. I don't, you would have to tell me that's Poolesville's flag, because although now that you told me that, or it may be, I could say, yeah, that's town hall. But,
Okay,
I
yeah.
see Poolesville is a town with a lot of history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that. I see modern art.
Okay.
That's what I see there, 21st century.
Yeah.
Modern art. I don't understand. I would never think that that the leaves there, the vines, are agricultural reserve. That's just me.
Well, they're not, and that's okay. They're actually for education, laurels for education.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it.
I have to judge, someone have to
Yeah.
tell me, oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
recognize the windows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's the old thing. I don't see it. And I've been sitting here trying to.
Yeah, wrap your head around it.
The old flag look like.
Right.
Yeah, it's right
The old
here.
flag's right there, and it is,
It violates every rule.
It does. It absolutely does.
Violates their rules. Now, their rules, somebody made up their own rules.
May I approach the flag so I can see
yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's a much better flag. That's could be a stamp or an emblem or anything. This,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
All right,
Not into that, but
Yeah.
That's okay.
that's not me.
That's what we're looking for. Sergeant, do you have anything before I slide down the aisle here?
Absolutely. I'm in the minority here, I guess. I love that yellowish color there. I think it's very unique and it reminds me of a beautiful heifer.
See, there you go. Flags mean something to everybody. Okay, next up. Go ahead.
I don't like it.
Okay.
It's too modern, it's too abstract, and it looks to me like somebody was playing around with Canva. No insult
Yeah.
to the
No,
design
yeah.
committee.
Now, understood.
I'm steeped in history, I agree with Richard. If the current flag violates a lot of flag design rules, what design rules does it violate? The lettering?
So the lettering is one, the image of the Old Town Hall is too detailed. Something like that. Like, again, going from the idea of if you're looking at it from a distance, it'd be hard to figure out what that is actually saying. So the idea between, like, say, the Old Town Hall there and the Old Town Hall there is, this sort of is a little bit, it stands out a little bit more, right? If you're looking at it kind of from a distance. Whereas this is more useful looking at it here. Like you said, is the stamp or a logo. That, our logo, and in the past, the seal and stuff like that, had that same kind of look because you were looking at it on a piece of paper or on a website where you're this close to it versus a flag is more distant. So the idea is that you're trying to make an image that sort of fits where people are going to see it, and that's the idea.
Let me give you one more too.
Yeah.
So one thing we learned very early on, and that we've spent some time on, is that the municipality is not the people. Like, having a building is not the people of Poolesville. Yes, we have an iconic old town hall, but we're not here to, there's many parts of that flag right there that talk about how the community is built through both our conservation efforts as well as our ag, our knowledge, a tribute to Poolesville High School and what brings everybody together, how important Poolesville is. So, not having it being centered, like this is front and center. This is, look at our municipality. It's our old building. That's not, the government of Poolesville is not what the people of Poolesville, and what makes up the people is a little bit more what we did. So that's why there's more of an opaque town hall versus having it be, like a photograph of Old Town Hall or a grainy ass photograph of Old Town Hall. So,
What you mentioned the people,
yeah.
what are the residents of the town, where are they on this
Right.
whole?
So we put together a pretty substantial committee of town people, town residents, along with the designer, and we gave them some parameters for what we thought the flag should represent. And they were the most basic parameters: knowledge, ag reserve, our farming heritage here, the fact that Poolesville High School plays a very important role for why people are here, and a sense of community. And so we gave them, what is that was that?
So, yeah, it was education, community, and agriculture were the three sort of key themes.
Basic tenets of it. And we wanted to get away from, again, we don't want to go back to old practices. And also too, I know that what you're thinking is how this looks today, right? But this is something, like everything that we do here at Town Hall, we have to think 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead, 50 years ahead. And having, it doesn't even compare to this. We're really, you can say you like this and this is where we've come from, but it really, the focus has to be on what is going to look right for the town for the next 10, 20, 50 years. And go back to some real basic flag guidelines that are, just like Niall said, you can see it from here, from the road. You can see, like it has to be distinctive, but it also has to have the representation of the things that are important to the town. So if we're missing something that's like on the important side of the town, I'm open to it. We saw several town flags that had like, that they considered, like we're not the only municipality that makes a claim towards education being one of the reasons why we're here. But there was some logos, I mean, ChatGPT will do it for you in a couple of minutes, or Canva will do it for you, that just basically has a book open in front of you, the very, very obvious situation. And we didn't necessarily just want to, I think the group.
There was, so it was trying to find, it's a mix of trying to find things that are Poolesville and trying to find things that connect these different themes to each other. So there was one that looked about doing a book or sort of a cap or things like that for education, but that's too generic, right? So it's both a balance of trying to find what is Poolesville and what is, and sort of connecting those elements together, and what is, and how to make it sort of fit this overall style of not trying to be too detailed or too hard to sort of see in all of its detail, but kind of having elements that pop and things like that. And I appreciate the idea. They spent a lot of time talking about being, that Poolesville is a historic community, and I think one of the questions is, how do you represent that? And what they came up with was using this outline of the old town hall, of saying that is an icon and that is a part of Poolesville history. So it can be, it's one of those things where we definitely appreciate where you're coming from, but it's also that question of, well, how do you represent that? And that was what they came up with as being that sort of icon of Poolesville and Poolesville history, but also being something that's still here. So
So, did you just say that that large committee that you had of people saw this and said, that's it?
yeah, and they went through many different options of designs over the last few months.
Didn't have any, why didn't you have anybody on the committee like?
But just remember, it's great, and this is why I'm asking, but we've also all attended the class. We've already been through a lot of like flag training. So not saying that we know more. That's why I'm asking about that's why we want to hear from you, because you don't have the training. But that's something that's helped build this mentality about what we're doing here. Go ahead.
Before you make that into a flag, put it out there in Poolesville Day and have people vote on it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
yeah, it should be advertised, which
I mean,
flag do
really,
you like?
I mean,
You can actually do a poll on the.
In line with the agricultural theme, this is bovine scatology.
Okay, he can be muted. All right, listen, I'm going to keep moving here. So go ahead, you're next. Yes.
Okay, so I get the laurels for education, but
Mm-hmm.
I would think that you should put wheat or corn and make it more agriculture. Because you're building itself,
Right.
it looks both educational and historical. And that, I think, goes into a better theme of, because I thought I was educated, but I didn't know what those laurel things were.
Right.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I get that. That's part, I guess we're thinking along the same lines, because I'm asking for something that helps provide better definition of what that
Right,
is
so if you
without
put
overwhelming
wheat
it.
Or if you
Yeah.
put corn,
Mm-hmm.
you still get the building. The
We-
building looks
yeah.
educational. You don't need a book there to
Yeah.
say that you're not a reader.
Well, right. No. Yeah. I mean, the book was before they pivoted to the town hall, and they did. And then we looked at various different things of different agricultural products and things like that to fit in as well. So we can look at that. But that was one thing that we discussed. But we wanted to, again, it's trying to keep to a simple but evocative sort of design.
Corn stock,
Right.
wheat
Yeah, and that was one of the things that they looked at.
Recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dark line going through the center? What does that represent?
That's green.
That's agriculture.
The green is the agriculture, yeah.
This is agriculture?
Yes, the green was agriculture.
Growth.
Yeah. Mhm.
Agriculture. Okay, got you. You've been waiting, and now you get the benefit of everybody else's comments to bring yours. Yeah, it's fine. No, that's fine. That's you've been.
I really like the flag. I really like that education is an important aspect. I'm a teacher. That's something that's important to me too. Town hall stood out to me right away. I knew exactly what it was. I'm a little bit wary of your idea to add too much definition.
Sure.
Because you're saying
Yeah.
how much you took out of town hall. You don't want them to feel unbalanced from each other. But I like what
I'm with
it
you.
represents, and I read it pretty well as soon as you said what the things represented. It worked for me.
Okay, well, you're the one we're going to listen to. No, I'm just kidding. I am kidding. Yeah. No, it's, listen, this is what I came here for. I appreciate all the feedback. And it was really kind of naked feedback because you guys had never seen it before, didn't know we were working on it, and gave us your 2 cents or more than that. I appreciate it from everybody. So, and Niles, you can take all that back to the committee and as well as our comments.
Yeah. Mhm.
Appreciate
Certainly.
it. Very good. Very good. Everybody, very good. Thank you for that. That was fantastic. Is there anything else you need from us right now besides what we just did?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, if you have further comments or if you have specific things, you can send them to me. But I think we're going to try to, tighten it up and get it going.
I appreciate that. It's good. All this has been fantastic. So, all right, very good. Thank you, everybody, for your impromptu contribution. New business, Poolesville Cats, grant request. Whoever's the spokesperson for this group, please come on up. It's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Okay,
And you too.
how are you?
Good.
Right.
Give us your name, addresses,
Yep.
so we know you're Poolesville residents, not trying to, interlope in here.
Well, Denise Habib, 23530 Whites Ferry Road, Dickerson, former Poolesville town resident.
And Teresa Jones, 17019 West Willard.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
All right, what are we here for?
We are here to ask you for a mini grant of $2,500.
Do you have it in front of you?
What's that?
The grant in front of you?
Yeah,
Yes.
they have it. Mhm.
Yes. We started an initiative in January of this year for taking cats to a low-cost spay-neuter facility in Hagerstown. And it's been wildly successful. And we'd like to continue to offer the opportunity for cat owners to take advantage of that by way of having some additional funds. We're not shortcutting the town veterinarians in any means. We use both of them for medical care for the cats that come in and we process through Poolesville Cats. But the low-cost spay-neuter, they can't come anywhere close to the care that we can get at the clinic in Hagerstown. $70 for a male, $95 for a female, versus $287 at Dr. Eags for a male, $277 at Peachtree for a male. And females, their price is anywhere from $450 up, depending upon the situation. Females in heat, the vets charge a little bit more. If the female's pregnant, they charge more. It's really a no-brainer. We can get more cats spayed and neutered if we take them to Washington County. And we're happy to do it. We get volunteer drivers to do this. We reach out to people who we know have cats, may have some financial constraints. We can reach out, anonymity is assured, and ask, hey, we know you adopted a cat from us 6 months ago. Have you had it neutered yet? We can take the cat for you. Would you like for us to do it? We do door-to-door service. We took 3 cats to Hagerstown this morning. Picked all 3 cats up at 6 o'clock in the morning, delivered all 3 cats back to either their foster or their owner at noontime.
Wow, it's amazing.
We've processed, with those 3, we've done 27 spay and neuters so far this year, and we've actually processed into Poolesville Cats for care and fostering a total of 77 cats as of this weekend with our latest intake of a mother and a litter of 5.
Wow.
It's our 8th litter of kittens this year so far, needing assistance.
I just remember what it was like before you guys were around. That
That's
was,
all over the roads.
and that was unbelievable back then. My wife moved here and was wondering what the heck was going on, that we had so many cats at so many places, crossing Fisher Avenue all the time, Spadesville Road, everything. Very difficult. You guys do great work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So give us a little background for what we've already provided grant-wise to this. This $2,500 grant is going to go specifically.
Right, so last grant, we used it for whatever the needs were. This one, we're trying to specifically use it for spade and neuter. And most of ours will try to get to the low cost. They're hard to get those appointments, and because we're limited in fosters, sometimes we might need to do a really quick spade or neuter in town. But we'd like the grant only to go to the spade or neuter. We're still, we still ask for donations. We still use all our donations for all the other sick. And, we have a lot of sick cats because when they're dumped, they're not always the healthiest. They might be hit by a car, I was in the vet this morning with one found out at Lewis Orchard, and it was probably a dump, probably a 10 to 12 week kitten. So we bring in a lot of donations. Yeah, I've been with them for 7 months and I've paid for a lot of money. And I can tell you, not only is the community give a lot of money, but we have donations that come in from Iowa, from Florida, from Arizona, from Virginia, from New Jersey, and from North Carolina. So, all to our little town. Because we're, people are watching us and they like what they see. So, we're just asking for help. We're not asking, for everything.
I know last year you guys came and your donors and personal donations, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was substantial. I mean, it was
So if
13 or
you
15,000
look
or
at
something.
2025, our last year's total donations were 15,400.
Right.
And you gave us 2,500.
Okay.
So we really did really well is getting our own donations besides your grant. And then this year, just in 6 months, our donations,
17 to 26.
right, so, right, in 6 months, we did what was done last year. So,
They're running a tight balance. It's not like you're full of cash.
Right.
no, we run on fumes, and that's why,
Well, you just
I'm
do as
always
much as
begging.
you can with the money you have.
yeah, right.
So I get
And
it.
so that's why we've switched the beginning of the year to try and switch over, and then it takes extra time, it takes extra effort for us to go do the low cost. And anybody who's out there listening, we do need physical help. Besides donations, we do need physical help.
So, hey, one more question for you. It's question for you, Nels. If you all weren't doing what you currently do and what you've been doing, what would that cat issue look like in Poolesville? If you guys did not exist and did not do what you're doing, what would that look like for
The paper I gave you, the picture.
this
word
multiplication when
afterwards?
we go?
I don't
This
know
one?
if they can somehow put it up so whoever's watching this can see.
But it multiplies, right?
Yeah, in 16 months, you got.
And how long have you all been doing this?
We were incorporated in 2022, but Richard was operating independently.
2010.
Yeah.
Right, so we're talking about 16 years, right? 20,
Yeah.
right? So if we look at, if you guys weren't doing this, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it would have been an explosive situation
Well, I guess that would be Parks and Recreation, or the
Right.
town
Yeah.
that would be.
And so then my second question, well, I know the county might have resources to try to do something. I know they're spread thin, but if we had to take care of it ourselves as a town, now this one's for you, right? What would that expense look like if we were stuck trying to take care of it ourselves?
I mean, our general practice would be to reach out to animal control, because that's how that's how we already deal with roadkill and other instances that happen, or.
But for the ones that are alive and they're
Yeah.
mating and
But
reproducing.
also if there were things like that. I mean, we don't have really the staff
Capacity?
to go in and do, take them to vet appointments or take them to be spayed and neutered. We'd have to sort of go through the county process or the adoption center, and do things like that. We wouldn't be able to provide the services the way they do. I think, Wade, if you can speak to before the last bit, but I think it was something like that.
No, we had, done some capturing of cats and taken them down to the county shelter years ago. But we just don't have the capacity or, to do that, or even the ability to quantify what that would really look like. I could, yes,
Would it be a massive undertaking? Would it be? feasible?
absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, all right. That's it for me. Jim?
Got it. Thanks, Ed. Any other questions for the guys?
No, look, I'm a numbers guy, guys. Looking at this, you're looking at $200 a month, $50 a week, for something that can explode at a much higher cost. I don't see any kind of fuel you guys are paying for gas going all the way up to Hagerstown.
So that's all on us.
I know, that's what I'm saying, that's personal expenses.
Yeah.
So it's vested. But, I don't know, it's self-explanatory.
I can tell you where I stand on it, right? I would be supportive, but I'll tell you why, is that it's something that benefits the whole community versus just something that benefits a small particular group, all right? And I would just be very transparent, which I tend to be a little bit more fiscally conservative, but I also look at what's the impact and what's the benefit for the whole town. And so when I look at it, I think it's beneficial. So I would support, I'm going to go on record, I support what they want to do. And I think back years ago when I first moved out here, about 14 years ago, I remember some of them nights trying to ask my wife, what's that noise outside? And I said, oh, those are cats. But I don't hear that noise anymore. But I used to hear, now some of the folks might have been living here longer than me, I don't know if you heard it, but I used to hear that noise, and it was something else. So I could see impact from the work that you're doing.
Great job.
And again, you did your homework, you're going out of county. It perplexes me why our county is expensive for everything, for the same service. It's just right down the line for everything, and it's a staggering amount of money going from $90 to, possibly $270 to $450, depending on the situation. So again, it's just, control and prevention, really. That's what it is.
Brian?
Yeah, I'd say I agree with everything that's been said. I support this request myself as well, for the reasons mentioned and the fact that we're looking at 95.8% of their costs so far this year have gone straight to animal care. 4.2% of admin costs. 4.2.
Why is it that high? I'm kidding.
I had to buy stamps.
All right, there you go. You ask and you get.
Oh, and that's 81 cents coming.
So that's like Jim said, you spend the money on where it needs to go, right? So you're getting the money in, you're doing a great job raising. We're here to help a little bit, and I think that it's worthwhile. It's money to a great cause and to great efficacy. But I also understand the people that say Poolesville Cats. Why are we giving money to Poolesville Cats? Maybe you need to change your name to the Volunteer Coalition for Ethical Cat Population Control of Poolesville.
What is that? Give us
What's that acronym?
Okay, give us a
Acronym.
acronym on that.
I do, but I get it, right? I mean, and I think that's where a lot of this comes from. People don't see much past the name, and why is the town giving money to Poolesville Cats?
Well, I
And it's
like
really-
to say,
Yeah.
if you love cats,
Yeah.
we're helping because we're decreasing them and then we're making them healthy and finding them homes. But if you hate cats, this is good too, because we're decreasing the population. So all those people out there, besides the grant, if you love cats, please donate to us. And if you hate cats, please donate to us.
There you go. Way to leverage the opportunity.
Right, yeah.
It's hard out there.
All right,
right,
so
very good.
You need a motion?
Yes, sir, if you're up for it.
Sure. I motion that we award the grant as presented for 2,500.
Ed's made a motion to agree to the grant that has been presented and has been made available to the public. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Brian. Okay, any other questions on it?
Nope.
No. Keep up the good work. All those in favor of approving the grant, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? The grant's been approved 4-0. Thank you for that. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work. Appreciate it.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Thank you for
We
doing
know
it.
that. Yeah. We thank you for
Want
doing
some help
it.
with a name change and maybe a flag?
Flag design.
Can you put a cat on there?
Put a cat on the roof.
Put a cat in the window or up on the roof, maybe?
Cats?
Okay.
No, not too many cats.
Wait into a cat and a
Maybe Too
turkey.
many cats, right, got it.
All right.
All right, very good. Thank you for that, you guys. Appreciate the presentation. All right, the ADU, ordinance number 235, introduction, Niles.
Yes. So, as we discussed, so this comes from a law that was passed, a state law, which was HB 1466, which makes several requirements of local governments to change their zoning ordinance to accommodate ADUs. So, basically, there are several things. One is it required the updating of the definitions to accessory dwelling unit and dwelling unit to match the state's definition. That's in there. And then two, there are specific standards, essentially, that we have to put in. So for example, as was sort of talked about before the meeting started, the ADU setbacks can be when Jerry was speaking, the ADU's setbacks cannot be exceed those of other accessory structures. So that's why it has the same setbacks as accessory structures. And then it requires, there's requirements for, if we were to require off-street parking, you'd have to do a parking study in order to prove that there is insufficient on-street parking to accommodate an ADU. So given the nature of, this is all, by the way, in a single-family zone. So given the nature of our single-family zones, we recommended not trying to do that study, since we already sort of know that we would not accommodate it. So the text just says there are no off-street parking requirements. And then there were requirements that that we don't charge impact fees on smaller ADUs, so those less than 750 square feet. This is just impact fees, by the way, and not other types of fees, so just connection fees or tap fees or things like that. So we can address that. And then a separate water and sewer connection or fee cannot be required for an existing connection if an existing connection are sufficient. And I think there are situations where people have already in town have water only lines, and some of those I think are connections from the regular town line. So that's sort of how we connected to that. And then the other discussion that we had, and we had this with the state, was about water allocation. And so what we did in the ordinance, because that's the part of it that is required for the ordinance, is make it the same approval process as for new construction or something like that, where it would have to be approved by the town commissioners, since it's the same, since it would be adding use to the water system for it. So that could be addressed that way. And so those are, and then also we made it the same zoning as an accessory apartment, separate dwelling, which is currently in the zone. We just renamed it to the accessory dwelling unit, so that counts it under that definition. It would have the same special exception in all the single family zones. And then it was permitted in the commercial zone, previously an accessory apartment, so that's the same zoning in this case. So that was sort of a brief overview. The other thing to mention is that we can't have, one last thing is that we have to have objective criteria, so we also did for design standards, we made it just match the criteria that was in the zone where it's applicable, so the village overlay and the commercial zone. I think that covers the main things to review, but are there any questions on it?
Not for me, but the rest of the guys.
I mean, I've read it like 3 times since we've had it, so, I mean, I'm.
Yeah, what's our next step?
So the next step, it would be to set a public hearing, and so the public hearing would be the 17th of August, based on the previous agreement that the next meeting will be the second meeting, would normally be the second meeting in August.
Right, got it.
And that would allow approval in September, which would allow us to meet the October deadline, if approved.
Any further work to be done by the planning commission on it?
Unless the commissioners have questions, they've gone through it. They went through it in the April meeting, and last week we went through every change, specifically. And they had a couple of questions which Kevin answered over the weekend. So I think where we're at fits what the intent was of the planning commission. So it's if you guys have further questions.
Is it out of bounds to share those questions and answers with the commissioners that were
You mean-
asked
oh, yeah,
from the town attorney?
Certainly. I mean, the main question was, there's a question at the last planning commission meeting about whether it's limited to 1 ADU per lot, and we confirmed, based on both what other jurisdictions do and the feedback related to the to this ordinance, which was done, or the state law, which was done last session. The Department of Planning gave us a lot of feedback, FAQs, and model ordinances and such. So we confirmed that we could limit it to 1 per lot. And then there were other questions about limits on owner occupancy and such, but the planning commission felt that for now, it's the ordinances as is would be the best path forward. And then maybe re-looking at that later. So.
Does that represent everything that you guys have been talking about so far? Nothing else to add?
No, really, we just want to make sure that the 1 per lot was the only thing that wasn't clearly defined, and we got that answered. so.
Okay, good. All right, very good. So we can do, I'll need a motion to set a public hearing on August 17th for ordinance number 235.
I'll make a motion.
Motion been made by Alan to set a public hearing.
To set a
for-
public, to set a public hearing on August 17th for ordinance number 235.
Got it. Motion been made by Alan. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Brian. Any other questions? We can save all the good commentary for that meeting.
Correct.
All right, very good. All in favor of setting that public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, that's been approved 4-0, so we have a public hearing set now for our only meeting for August, which is August 17th. Thanks for that. Appreciate it, and appreciate the background. Yes, go ahead.
I'm not going to be here.
Well, that's fine. Thank you for that. All right, as long as we have a quorum, that's what I care about, and I will be here. Gents?
I'll be here.
All right. Here. Okay, good. That's what we need to know. All right, very good. Thanks for that, and I appreciate the background, and everybody has a chance to study this up a little bit more. All right, the town manager's report. Go ahead.
Certainly. All right, so a couple of things to mention off the bat. One is that we're going to be repaving Coalhouse Road. I sent out various notices about that, and I actually met with a contractor today on site. He's going to try to, tomorrow, hopefully, do some door hangers on the appropriate things. As a general rule, what's happening is Wednesday, if you're standing out at Wooten, left-hand courts will be Wednesday. Thursday will be the right-hand courts, except for the one closest to Wooten. Friday will be Wooten Ave, Coalhouse Road to Wooten Ave from Cattail, and then the Wooten Ave court that is known as Court 1 in the document. So that will be on Friday. So those are the day. Then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's just the same order. So left, right, Coalhouse, and First Court.
Has this been shared on Facebook and
Correct.
multiple
It has been
occasions?
shared on Facebook. It was emailed to everybody on Friday. It's on the front page of the website now. And based on the conversations that we've had with residents here in the office and the contractor had on site today, it is well known that this is happening. So what we're asking people is in the affected courts, before 7 a.m. on the day in which their court is happening, to move their cars. They can park either on Wooten or in Cattail, but we're sort of encouraging that to sort of give them access to do to do the paving. So that was number one. Any questions on that?
Do we have tow vehicles set up?
Yep, we already have that set up, and we know of at least one vehicle that will need that at this point.
Okay.
And so, let's see, anything else on that?
No, I just saw some grumbling about the usual grumblings about communication and why weren't we told and all the usual. So if you, as long as you know, we know all the bases been covered,
Yeah.
that's all we can do.
And there are two separate things. There was the water main break today, which we didn't know was going to happen until this morning. And so we put it out as soon as we could. And so following that process, and then because they're going to be doing it how it is right now is how it's going to be left so that they can just pave it over where it's
Understood.
cut. It's compacted, it's fine, it's not loose or anything, but it doesn't have a coal patch because there's no point in that,
Right.
given where we are.
You don't need us out there supervising, the laying down of the, it doesn't sound like it.
No, and we also have all of the data about the markings and all of that for the courts. So we have that and the
Numbering?
numbering and all of that, and the contractor for that, which will be separate, will be coming in early August to do the
Is it Bob
marking.
Nichols or who is it?
For the marking, it's Southern Striping is who we
Southern
have.
Striping, were they the same guys that did the crosswalks?
Correct. They did the crosswalks. They've previously done the markings in that court after the water line project.
Right.
So they're very familiar with the space and what
Yes.
they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so once that starts, we'll let everybody know when that's going to happen as well. And so that's that.
It's good.
All right. And then, as Alan mentioned, Streetscape is moving forward. We have completed the 100% plans. We literally, before we got here, got some comments from the state back on those 100% plans. So we are digesting those and trying to get everything back done by Friday. We'll see how well that all pans out. And I've done some work reaching out to some residents specifically about issues related to their properties. And so that process is ongoing as well. And then there is a position open in the Parks and Streets Department. So that is on the website, that is on Facebook as well. If anybody has somebody in their networks or who to work in our parks, on our streets and such. So there's information on the website about that. And then I had made some notes as well. Hang on one second. There we go.
Wade looks like he's ready to say something. What is it?
It's all
No?
good.
It's all good?
Because I found my notes. The audit is coming up, so that will be at the June meeting. We're going to sorry, not the audit, the closeout of the books for the audit. So we'll have at the June meeting, right? Is that when our
June?
goal?
June
Or
2026.
sorry, June.
August meeting, we should, have a presentation for you.
Yeah, we'll have a presentation on that, on the 17th. That's what I meant to say there. And then we also, we have a couple of events coming up on the 24th, Friday on the Commons, and I believe it's August 7th is the other upcoming event. And of course, you already talked about the farmers and things like that. So that is the main stuff. Did you have anything else, Wade? Okay. then-
No, you have it covered.
Perfect. All right.
Okay,
That
that's
concludes
it.
our report.
Questions for the town manager? Go
I was
ahead.
going to add anything. I know that during our MML conference, we ran into our SHA people. Seems like we've actually created a pretty good relationship with them. It's between collecting data from SHA, MCPD, with in reference to the good old out-of-town corner that plenty of accidents are happening. They expedited that pretty quick.
Yeah.
After our meeting within, I would say, 2 weeks? Within
Yeah,
2 weeks?
it was.
They came out, milled, painted, did their studies, and, it's just, that's why it's important for us to go to our conferences, because you have every director and the presidents and all the chairs of all these committees that we deal with throughout the year, but when you're in front of them and you ask the questions, it's hard to say no. So, I just want to, say that, our due diligence is working off, and again, with the relationships that you forge, our future projects should go a little bit more streamlined, and get a little bit more perspective from our town, so.
And then,
Are you saying that work down there didn't happen just?
But it's because Jim did not show up. No, I'm just kidding. We had it. No, it's something that we've been working on for a while.
And
we do, the commissioners do a lot of behind the scenes. You know, we, obviously, there's
Yeah.
posts and stuff to say, but we know what's going on. We don't, until we have some substantive solutions, we can't really share, so.
And just goes to show how these things sort of combine with each other. The meeting where we had a meeting at the conference, and then when I had a meeting about the streetscape, I had everybody on that call who would be able to address the curve as well. So at the end of a meeting about the streetscape, we talked about the curve, and that led to, that was within a week or so is when they did the work there. So that was a good example of how doing multiple things at the same time.
And they're still not done with it. They're going to do a couple more things.
Yeah, there's going to be, they're looking at working with the utilities out there to put reflective things on the poles so that when you're driving at night, you can see where the poles are as well, to give you a good sense of the field out there, field of view out there.
Great.
Now, remember, this is not a town of Poolesville.
Yeah.
This is outside of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. Yes, sir.
That's a short-term solution.
What do you propose?
Solution is the direction of the road, or realigning the road. Did they mention anything?
So at this point, what they were saying about that was more about, that's where they want to look at studies and traffic counts and all of that stuff to look at how they,
What traffic
well,
counts?
yeah.
How many accidents have occurred?
There's-
In 2 years, they need to do some more
Right.
studying.
Yeah, so just so that you know, there have been 5 accidents in that curve since January. And that's from state police records. And there's others, I think, that the
Go back
county
10
had.
years, how many accidents
yeah.
are there? Ask Milton how many times.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
But,
That's the solution.
right, and I understand that part, and that, I think, goes to larger questions with SHA and their priorities and that. Realigning a road isn't as simple as sort of what they're responding to right
No,
now.
it's not simple.
Mhm.
I mean, I've even texted, emailed our District 15
Yeah.
delegation that, if they have to use eminent domain, then use it. Because this is ridiculous, even with those. Hopefully, it'll be a short-term solution that we can find now.
Yep,
I mean, there's a lot of solutions. Slow down, stay off your phone, and be a good driver. I mean, that's 3 of them. I mean, if you can't see the signs that say curve and all the big arrows, then, it's pretty common sense. I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for your contribution on that one. Now, is anything else then from town manager's report?
I don't believe so. I don't think there's anything else.
Wade, no, got it, good. Commissioners, anything else?
I'm good.
Motion?
Yeah, well, hey, Alan, thanks for being there on Sunday. I'll
appreciate
be
it.
out of town.
Absolutely, I look forward to it.
I might actually be there. I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm sorry.
I mean, what time are you going to show up? 5:59, 5:59?
6:01.
Brian, you ready?
I'll have it
I
done by
motion that we adjourn this meeting.
then. Second, we're good.
Yeah, before I finish. All right, yeah.
All in favor?
Motion made, seconded. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, anybody? Nope. We adjourn. Thank you.
My man, Buck.
Thank you.
Thank you.